Get ready for the RoyalTEA Talk show with host Portia Basham, the podcast designed for women who are looking to be inspired, motivated, and encouraged. Whether you're just starting out in your career or raising a family, the RoyalTEA Talk show has something for you. This is your opportunity for empowerment and affirmation. Get blessed with amazing stories from women of all walks of life who want to share their truths and victories and impact the lives of women everywhere. This is your cordial invitation to join us as we sip tea, chat, and empower each other on the RoyalTEA Talk show and podcast with your host, Portia Basham.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon. You know what time it is. It's Friday, and this is where we start our live podcast. This is where we do our live podcast, the RoyalTEA Talk show. It is where we teach, empower, and give you affirmations to build you up to who God has called you to be. So go ahead, invite a friend, tag, share, let them know that we are here. Grab your favorite cup of tea, grab your lunch, and let us sit down and chat today about, oh my God, the three types of people who could drain your energy. That's the chat we are talking about today. That is where we're going with it today. But you know, this is the place. This is the Royal Cuts. I tell everybody, come on into the Royal Cuts. Because guess what? This is where we take the time, people, to discuss everything that encompasses us as women. Everything. We talk about our family, our friendship, our faith, our finances. We talk about the things that fulfill us as women. So grab a friend, people. Come on. Click, tag, and share. Grab a friend. I am busy just sharing right here. So if you could do the same with me, I would be honored if you would do the same with me, just to make sure that we are not missing anybody. We are definitely okay. I made sure I put it as public so everybody could share it and come on in. I am super excited. So for those who do not know who I am, as a way of introduction, I am Portia Basham. We could say Lady Portia Basham, and I am your host here for the RoyalTEA Talk podcast. And what we do here is we take the opportunity to chat about the things that matter to us. I noticed that we have places where, you know, they talk about things that go on, but nobody really comes in and says, hey, let's talk real. Let's talk about, you know, what it feels like to have, you know, my kid on the spectrum and how do I deal with it? What it really feels like to have you go into the boardroom, like one would say, and nobody, you know, really takes you on, or nobody takes you seriously. What it feels like to share your visions with people and they don't take you seriously. They just brush you aside. This is where we talk about everything when it comes to a woman. Okay, this is talking about what happens when you are 25 plus shipping and handling and your body doesn't cooperate with you. That's what that's the conversation we are having. So welcome everybody on Facebook, welcome everybody on YouTube, welcome everybody on Instagram, welcome everybody in the podcast. Jess, I'm saying welcome. So go ahead, share this broadcast. It's about to be real. It's about to really go down over here. This is going to, our topic today, it will be threefold. You know, we always do threefold topics over here. Our topic is going to be threefold. Number one, we are going to look at the psychology of the energy draining people. Just how do they think? Then we're going to look at the three types of people who constantly drain your energy. Let me tell you, if you haven't come across those kind of people, just keep believing a little bit longer. You will come across the people who constantly, did I say the word constantly? Who constantly drain your energy. And then number three, we are going to talk about how to deal with them. Because listen, sometimes in all fairness, let's just think about it. In all fairness, sometimes they don't realize they're doing it. Let's just throw that out there. They maybe don't realize that they're really draining every ounce of energy out of you. They just think that they are doing their due, and such is life, but it's not. Okay, so today, grab your cup of tea. I have my cup of tea. Her ladyship has her cup of tea. Do you have your cup of tea? And let's chat. Let's get down into it. So let's first look at, before I go in, tell me where you're tuning in from, because I know we have lots of ladies. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Give me the city you're tuning in from. Give me, who you are, what you do. I want to know. This is not just where we are talking. I'm talking to myself. Nope. This is the opportunity for us to talk to each other. Tell me what's going on. So my first question to you, write it in the chat. Tell me, what are the 3 types of people that constantly drain your energy? Give it to me in subtitle form. Who are the 3 types of people you believe that constantly drain your energy? Hey, hi. So we have right now, we have Tamara, hi. And we have Samara said, good afternoon. And we have Miss Christine. Hi. Oh my God, from Missouri. Hello. Nice to have you. Come on into the room, ladies. Come on in. So we want to know, in your opinion, who are the 3 types of people? Tell me about the 3 types of people you think that constantly drain your energy. I'll be looking in the chat. But in the interim of all of that, guess what? I'm going to talk to you about the psychology of those people who drain your energy, the psychology of it. So number 1, an energy drainer is someone who drains your emotional energy, leaving you feeling tired and drained. Come on, tell me you know those people. Leaving you feeling even more depressed than they are. Now, when I did my research, they kind of compared those kind of people to vampires. They said, unlike vampires who would need blood to survive, those energy drainers, they don't need anything else from you but your attention, your emotional resource. That's what they need. Those energy draining people come to just pull attention from you and pull as much energy from you. So in other words, they just feed off of your reactions. Energy draining people. This is what we're talking about today. So then they said there are 2 main types of energy draining people. Those who drain your energy intentionally and those who drain it unintentionally. So those who drain it intentionally, they say those ones cause a lot of drama, a lot of chaos. And then those who drain your energy unintentionally, they just go through tough times. Now, to be honest, we do have some people that unintentionally, they don't realize that they are really pulling on you. They don't realize that they are really saying, hey, I'm pulling on you. Oh, we have somebody that says, hey, from Orlando, hi. And yes, we have those people that unintentionally pull from us. But let us look at the 3 types of people. So we all have in our lives, we've all come across one way or the other, somebody who drained our energy, somebody who pulls from us. They pull from us a little bit more than anybody else. Maybe it's because they're always negative. Maybe it's because they're always needy. They always need something from us. Or maybe it's because they're just plain old energy draining people. Whatever the reason, and it's important to know how to deal with those people. Because if you don't take your time to learn how to deal with them, yes, they are toxic. If you do not listen. Someone on Instagram says they are complainers. When I ask what type of people, the complainers one, all of them are toxic. That's correct. But whatever the reason, it's important to know how to deal with those people. Because if you don't know how to deal with those people, that is going to be something that is just going to be a continuous going on, pulling of your time, pulling of your energy, pulling of your resources. How many of us have those people in our lives that take and take and take, but never pour back into you? You keep filling their barrel of attention. You keep filling their barrel of resources. You keep filling their barrel of their finances. You keep giving to them over and over and over, and they've never stopped to say thank you or stopped and pour back into you. Girl. Listen, Christine says negative people, drama people, listen, needy people. Yes, I love it. Listen to me. So let's dive in. Let's dive into the people because Christine is way ahead of us here. Christine is way ahead of us here. So my number one person. Do you have your cup of tea? Make sure you have your cup of tea because this is going to be good. My number one person is Negative Nelly. I call them Negative Nelly. Okay. Number one person, I call them Negative Nelly. We all know that one person who is just negative all of the time. You could call them Negative Nelly, Negative Nancy, but we're going to put negative in front of that name. Okay. They're negative all the time. No matter what you say or do, they just find a way. They find a way for something to be negative. They just find, you have your cup of tea, good. They just find a way to be negative. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You know, yes, they find a way to be negative. And I give you a good example for this week, okay? I give you a good example for this week. So this week, I was talking to this friend of mine, and it's all about, you know, putting together a room. And I said, oh, the room looks lovely. No, I don't really like the paint. Well, no, the paint is good. I like the way you did it. No, it's I don't know. It's not good. And then I go, you know what? You're right. The paint is not good. And they go, really? The paint is not good? Because no matter how you agree with them, no matter how you disagree with them, no matter how you compliment them, they are going to still find that something negative to throw into there. They're always the one who always complains about something, someone, and they're just generally always unhappy. Now, if you bring it up to them that they are always unhappy, they go, no, that's not me. They would not acknowledge that. It is them. Oh, no. So dealing with Negative Nelly can be tough, but there are a few things you could do to try to turn them around and bring some positivity into their lives. We have to figure out how to deal with Negative Nelly or Negative Nancy. I hope we don't have a Nancy on here. Do we have a Nancy or Nelly on here? I hope we don't have a Nancy or Nelly. Okay. I hope not. But the Negative Nelly or Nancy, they're the person that always, you know, try to see the glass half empty. No matter how you try to tell them, hey, don't worry, the glass is half full. There is something to be positive, you know, to be grateful about. They always find that way of they're negative. So this is how we're going to deal with Negative Nancy or Negative Nelly. Okay. This is my idea of dealing with Negative Nelly. The best way to deal with a Negative Nancy or Negative Nelly is to find the silver lining in every situation and to focus on the positive things in your life. So I started to tell the person, yeah, but think about it. You are alive to see the walls. There are people who are not even alive. They can't even see those walls that you're looking at. Think about that. I'll take a sip of tea for that one. That's one. Okay. And then next, we have to try not to take everything from them personal. Let's not look at it personal. It's not personal. It really is not personal. Yes, they're going to say things that are negative. But let's not look at it, take it personal. Just because they're always being negative doesn't mean they're necessarily talking about you or trying to put you down. I bet you weren't expecting me to say that. Yes, speak to changing their perspective. Yes. So number one, let them see that silver lining. Number two, don't take it personal. Number three, try to be positive yourself and see things positive whilst they now at talking all the negative. Just keep telling them the positive things. And finally, if all fails, if all what you're trying to do fail, if you're trying to be positive, if you're not taking it serious, taking them seriously, you trying to just look at the glass always half full and they're seeing it half empty, just walk away from the situation. Take a break. Walk away. Just walk away. Tell them you'll be back. Listen, I tell you what, I'll be back. Let me go and get some stuff done over here. I'll be back. You just walk away, because you realize no matter what it is, you've coming in and they're not, it's not working, and it's okay. Just tell them, give me a minute, I'll be back. So number one was negative Nelly and negative Nancy. Okay. That's the number one. Remember, if you're new, if you're just coming on, we are talking about the 3 types of people who constantly drain your energy and how to deal with them. So far, we have spoken about negative Nancy and negative Nelly. Okay. These are the ones that complain all the time. These are the ones that see the glass half full. These are the ones that's always going to be talking negative. No matter how you try to be positive about it, they're going to come with something negative. So the best way to deal with them, I've given you 3 best ways to deal with them. Number 1, find that silver lining in every situation and focus on the positive things in their life. Number 2, don't take it personal. Number 3, be positive. No matter what it is, be positive. And number 4, if all fails, just walk away and tell negative Nancy, negative Nelly, we will see you in a few minutes. Hey, give me a time to breathe. Now we're down to number 2. The number 2. Number 2 is those energy drainers. They call them energy vampires. We've all seen a scary movie once in a while in our lifetime. We know what vampires are. We know. Energy vampires. An energy vampire is someone who seems to suck out all your energy out of every ounce of you. Have you ever spoken to somebody and when you finish talk to them, you're like, oh, God. Am I the only one? Am I the only one? I must be the only one, right? No. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that there's some people when you speak to them, when you are done, you're asking God to replenish you? Well, they're the ones who's always needing something from you, or who always demanding your attention, or listen, dealing with these energy draining vampires, as they call them, can be tricky because you don't want to just ignore their needs. But at the same time, you don't want to let them take advantage of you either. How would you deal with it? You don't want them to take advantage of you, but at the same time, you don't want them to drain you. Well, let me tell you, let me give you how to deal with them. Okay, let's go. So what you're going to do first, you're going to try to set boundaries. Yes, or feel sick. Yes, but you're going to try to set boundaries. First, try to set boundaries with them. Make it clear that you're not going to drop everything and every time they need something from you. Make it clear. Number 1, set boundaries. Number 1, I remember when I was speaking to the person during the week, I said, listen, I understand you have, in your mind there's an issue. I get it. I've given you ways to deal with it, and it's not what you want to hear, and that's okay. But then until you come back with some positive stuff as to how we could fix whatever your problem is, I'm sorry, I can't sit and talk about it anymore. Set your boundaries. If you come to me for a problem, let's think of what the solution is. Set your boundaries. Number 2, try giving them specific instructions on what they need to do instead of just doing everything for them. Okay, sorry, I'm going to rest that one right there. Try giving them instructions. Now, let me tell you, it's not just instructions, specific instructions. Because when you give them instructions, they'll be the first one that's going to say, I don't know. No, can you please do it for me? No, I don't think I can. Give them specific instructions as how to get it done. instead of you doing it for them. And I'm guilty of that, because the instant somebody comes to me with a problem, my instinct is to fix it and just say, no, 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 I'll do it for you. No, I'll do it for you. Give it to me. I'll do it for you. Challenge. Okay, counter with the negatives, positives. Yes. Counter with the negatives, positive. I love that. And finally, okay, so far I've given you 3 ways to deal with the emotional vampire. Okay, the energy, actually, no, not the emotional vampire, the energy draining vampire. The final one is to make sure that you take care of yourself first and foremost, and don't let them drain all your energy. Think of you first. Think of you first. And in growing up, when they say think of you first, put you first, they always make you feel like as if you're selfish. This is not being selfish. I keep going back to the example of being on a plane. When you are on a plane, the first thing they tell you, in case of an emergency, put your mask on first, right? Put your mask on first. They tell you that. Put your mask on first, and then you could put your mask on your children. So it's just the same with this energy vampire. Think of you first. Think of what it does to you when they are done with you. That's not your first rodeo with them. You know what is going to happen when they pull on you like that. You come out from there and you feel, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and all you want to do is go and sleep? Oh, am I the only one? Am I the only one? Okay, I might be the only one. Yeah, I might be the only one. But no, there are people who really do that to you. So now that we've looked at 2, number 1 was negative Nelly and negative Nancy, and number 2 is the energy draining vampire. Number 3, who could guess number 3? Come on, who could guess number 3? Number 3, the emotional roller coaster. Woof. Emotional roller coaster. We've all had that. We've all been on that emotional roller coaster at one point in our life. But some people seem to be constantly on that emotional roller coaster. These are the people, ladies, these are the people who are always up and down, hot and cold, happy and sad. You never know what you're gonna get with them. Now, dealing with an emotional roller coaster person can be exhausting, because you never know what their mood is going to change to, what is going to set them off. What you used to hear before? You feel like you're walking on eggshells because you don't know if today is the day you're going to say something that's going to trigger it to the left or trigger it to the right. Emotional roller coaster. So let's look at the best ways to deal with an emotional roller coaster person. The best thing you could do in this situation is just try to ride it out. You are welcome. You listen. The best thing to do is to sit in this situation and just try to ride it out. Let them go through their woe is me. I don't know. I don't have that much energy to do that, but that's the suggestion. Ride it out. Be there for them when they need you. But at the same time, do not forget about taking care of yourself. You see what I mean? I don't know if I am able to sit down and watch the person go into happy, go into sad. It's like as if it pulls from you. So know yourself. Know what you could take. Know what you could handle. Make sure that you schedule in some me time for that. You like, okay, you know what, baby girl, today, how about we chat with each other next week? Is that okay? Yeah, we're going to chat each other next week. Put some into you. Put something into you before you come across them. Because the worst thing is to go to somebody. Listen, go to somebody who has an emotional roller coaster energy, and go into them when you are empty, when you are on empty, when you don't have much left in you. So number 1 was ride the storm. Number 2 was make sure you give them the attention they need, but be strategic as to how to do that. Make sure you are ready for that kind of roller coaster. Okay. Now that was 3, but let me drop another one in there. And I saw Miss Christine had put it up. The complainer. We have the complainer. The complainer is the person who always complains about everything. The complainer. They're the ones who are never happy. They complain about everything. Dealing with the complainer could be frustrating because their complaints can be endless. You see how they made the dress? They didn't even make that right. You see, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh my God. The complainer. When you look at the dress is beautiful, but the complainer will find something to bring up. The complainer. So far, we've been speaking about the three, and I gave you a bonus one. And then let me tell you how to deal with the complainer, because I think I didn't say that. Let's see how to deal. Dealing with the complainer can be frustrating because they're right. But the best way to deal with a complainer is to try to find some common ground. Find something that you both could agree on and just end it right there. You know what? You're right. The button is crooked. End it. Yeah, you know what? You're right. The picture is crooked. End it. You will never win by constantly trying to shift the complainer to move on the other side of life. Just find that one thing that you'll be like, it's common. Yes, you are right. It is what it is. It is what it is. I get it. So we've spent our time today, ladies. Oh my God, this one is good. I loved it. We spent our time talking today about the psychology of an energy drainer, how they think, what kind of person they are. And then we dabbed into 3 types of people who constantly drain your energy. And I even gave you a bonus one, 4 people. And then we spoke about how to deal with them strategically, that is, not just close the book, but how to deal with them. Because according to research, they say some people, drain your energy unintentionally. And some people drain your energy because they know they can. So setting boundaries, letting them know what you will accept and what you will not accept, meeting them halfway, telling them, give me a minute, give me a break, let me just catch my breath before we continue this kind of conversation. These are the ways to deal with people who drain your energy. Because at the end of the day, you come first. You come first. You've had a client that could complain from now till tomorrow. And by the time you're done with the conversation, you're wondering whether you want to be able to work with the client because they complain. You got family members who do it, friends who do it. But knowing how to deal with it without you being the bad guy, that is very important. So my suggestion is, number 1, put boundaries. Doesn't matter if it is negative Neely, if it is energy draining vampire over there, and if it is Miss Complainer over here, if it is roller coaster and emotional roller coaster over there, it doesn't matter which one it is. My suggestion is to set boundaries. You need that. Set boundaries. Think of you. Do you have the energy to deal with it? Do you have the energy to deal with it today? If you don't pick the call up. That's all I'm saying to you. Don't pick that call up if you don't have the energy to deal with it. Because dealing with energy draining people can be tough. But it's important to remember that we all have them in our lives somehow or the other. Remember, they could be found in your family. They could be found on your job. Oh, Jesus, the job. They could be found as your clients. They could be found as your friends. They could be found as your neighbors. But the best way to deal with them is to try to find that common ground and to always focus on the positive thing in your life and in their life. So tell me, in the way of the comments, what are some of the other things that you could implement to deal with energy draining people? Or tell me, have all the information I've given to you, have it helped you? Because I would love to know. Shoot me an email, info@portiabasham.com, or go ahead and leave it in the comments if you're watching the replay. But ladies, this begins, I don't know, this ends the end of our broadcast for today. I just wanted to stop in really and chat about the energy draining people because I came across one or two this week. And I was like, if I came across them, you surely, you, my ladies, have come across them. So I just wanted to bring that topic into the royal courts so we could talk about it. Tell me, how does that help you? Tell me if you've come across people like that and how you deal with it, because I give how I deal with it. So tell me how you dealt with it. So thank you so much for joining me here in the royal courts as we chat about the topics of the energy draining people. So for those who want to know more about me, you could visit me on PortiaBasham.com. This is where you are going to learn what services I offer in addition to being on the podcast, what services I offer in terms of branding, in terms of speaking engagements. But one of the things I want to extend to you as my viewers, if you would like to be a guest, a featured guest on the RoyalTEA Talk show, go ahead and send me an email, info@PortiaBasham.com. And we could definitely talk about the next availability spot. So you could come in and we could chat about everything that encompasses women. Okay, everything in terms of the topics we cover is family, friendship, faith, and finances. I pray that this episode was beneficial to you. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining the RoyalTEA Talk show. And if you are listening on the podcast, go ahead and please rate us on the platforms. We could be found on almost 10 platforms. And some of those platforms is Pandora, Apple, and the iHeart Radio. I am just super excited that we are able to bring our podcast to everybody, all the ladies who are out there trying to figure out how to balance life. Okay. So until then, I am Lady Portia Basham. Please do me a favor, keep the people that are draining your energy arm's length. Make sure you keep them arm's length. If you're not ready for them, don't bring them into your circle to talk to you because they're going to drain every ounce of your energy out. And I don't want that to happen to you. So thank you so much for joining. As always, you are saved, highly favored to be who God has called you to be in this time and in this earth. You be blessed. And I send hugs and kisses. Thank you for joining. Super excited. Oh my God.
Thanks for tuning in to the RoyalTEA Talk show with your host, Portia Basham, the talk show and podcast designed for women who are looking to be inspired, motivated, and encouraged. We pray today's show was a blessing to you. Remember to tune in next time for your regular dose of encouragement and affirmation so you can hear from other amazing women from all walks of life who share their stories and advice on everything from personal growth to living their dreams. So until next time, we look forward to seeing you to sip some tea, chat, and empower each other on the RoyalTEA Talk show and podcast.